Alright guys, so for this week we are going to create a landscape with complementary colors. Now each of you should have already done these last week, and you want to have these for reference because to find the complementary colors, they are the colors that are directly across from each other on the color wheel. So if you take a paintbrush or a pencil, whatever you have on hand that is straight, if you line it up with blue, you'll see that orange is straight across from it. So blue and orange are complementary colors. If you go to violet and yellow are straight across from each other on the color wheel. All right, and that works for all of them. So you've got blue, violet, and yellow, orange, red and green. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do one exercise that kind of divides up all of those complementary colors so we can see how each one works together. And then we're going to take those and create elements of our landscape painting.
Alright, so what you guys need for this assignment is a piece of watercolor paper, a ruler, and a Sharpie. Well, you can use a pencil. I'm using a Sharpie so you guys can see a little bit better as you're watching the video.
Alright, so this is the watercolor palette that I'm using. It has 12 different colors, and the most important thing is just to make sure that you have plenty of water on your palette. Alright, a lot of times people end up scooping the paint like they would acrylic paint, but this is not acrylic paint. You want to be sticking your brush into colorful water. And I'm going to do the same technique that I did in my ombre section here, where it goes from a darker value to a lighter value. Tertiary colors, those are the ones with like the two names basically to their name. So if we go with blue violet, our color will be yellow orange. violet and the yellow orange. So now we go to the next tertiary color, which is blue green, and its complement is red orange. Set of complementary colors is red violet and yellow green. Blending some of these colors because you are going to make a landscape, so we're going to have kind of like a sunset sky. Right here, this is going to be a big tree. These are going to be little trees right here in this box. This is going to be our sky, and this is going to be our mountain range. Alright, so we're going to start with the sky. And we really want these colors in the sky to be blended. All right, now just because you're going to be using the complementary color scheme of orange and blue doesn't mean that that's all you can use. When you're doing complementary color schemes, you can also use the colors that are analogous to those main colors. So analogous colors are the ones that are right next to each other. So we're using orange and blue. So I can also use red orange and yellow orange. All right, so I'm going to use those. As long as my main color is orange, then it's going to be fine. So I am getting this section wet. Now remember, when you're doing the wet on wet technique with the wet brush on the wet paper, you don't want any standing water. You just want to make your paper appear glossy. And so you can like pick it up and like rotate it to make sure it's evenly coated. You don't have any bald spots, so to speak, and you don't have any water that's going to run off the page. Have to add its complement, so that would be orange. So just take a touch of orange and we're just going to neutralize that blue a little bit. Okay, so I added some water and I added a touch of orange and we've got that blue color. Now On dry paper, okay, this is dry right here, I'm going to start to create the farthest away mountain range. Now we want to fade this bottom edge into our paper. Do another mountain range right here until this part dries. If we try to paint right here, it's going to be like that wet on wet technique where the paint just bleeds and spreads out, and you will not get these crisp lines. So definitely make sure as you start your actual project that you're waiting for this first layer to dry completely. So while we wait, we're going to work on the trees. What do is for the little trees, just do a couple little vertical lines, different heights, different spacing. And then all you're going to do is you're going to start at the top. You're just going to press. I'm just tapping my brush. I mean, as you get down closer to the bottom, then you can widen out your strokes. So I just added a little bit of blue straight to that same color that I was using here. And this mountain range, it's not going to be completely parallel because that doesn't look realistic.